We all create and have routines in our lives. Each plays its role in how we create our own unique pathway to success. One of our routines on today's Antidote is to share our discoveries of the week each Friday in an effort to highlight a key point from our discussion. Stay tuned for that and more on this edition of today's Antidote.
Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Hey, Tom. Happy Friday.
Good morning. How are you today, Bob?
I am good, but it's a little weird. The routine's been broken today because I woke up to a blizzard warning for the area I'm in. I'm in the eastern shore of Delaware, not an area that gets a lot of snow. I've seen snow on the ground twice in the last couple weeks, which the locals say is pretty unusual. And they're talking about maybe 7 to 15 inches of snow overnight tonight into tomorrow.
Fun.
Fortunately, I'm on the third floor, so worst case for me is there's enough snow that I can go off the balcony and, splat right into a foot of snow, which oddly is tempting to me today.
Okay. Well, when you consider doing that, you have to do one of two things. You have to
Don't overthink it.
Call and let me talk you out of it.
Okay.
Or set up your camera and do it as Instagram or TikTok live. One way or the other. You either want to save yourself a lot of pain or have the opportunity that you'll have a video go viral. That's would be my suggestions.
That's it. But it is funny because I think a lot of people on the East Coast are getting worried about the potential snow. Is it snowing there right now?
No. We're not supposed to get it in Baltimore until about 4 o'clock is we're supposed to get it. And we're on the edge. So it depends if you go by the European model or the American model where they think the storm is going and what we're going to get. The Northeast is definitely going to get some snow.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see the path that it takes and what we will get in Maryland. So
yes.
We are also breaking routine in that with the 7 a.m.
Yes.
Rather than our typical 8. And our friend Danny says that, he's looking for Snowmageddon. He says nothing in Binghamton either.
Oh, is that where he is? Up in Binghamton, New York?
He is in Binghamton. He grew up in Binghamton, which I was in Binghamton for a long time.
Isn't there a college up there, Tom?
Binghamton University?
Isn't that where Hamilton is?
No, Hamilton's further north.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I'm sorry.
Outside of Utica.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Binghamton University is in Binghamton. And Binghamton is interesting.
That's good. If Binghamton University was in Cleveland, that would be confusing.
Well, Hamilton College is in Clinton, New York, and Colgate is in Hamilton, New York. So figure that out. Just saying.
Folks, it's 7:05 and you've had your brain twister already come out because I'm lost.
Well, I think as Danny probably knows, and since I live there, Binghamton is in a unique spot because they are just far enough west that they typically don't get a lot from nor'easters. And they are far enough east and sort of protected by some mountains and the Great Lakes from the lake effects from Buffalo and Rochester. So what I discovered in my 10 years in Binghamton was that not that we couldn't get snow, we could. It just was we usually didn't get it as much as some spots that were probably about 20 or 30 minutes from Binghamton. So Danny might get pounded today with snow and he might not. We'll see. We shall see. All right, Bob. So as we move on, welcome everyone to today's Antidote, our daily broadcast and podcast, where we have a discussion around a topic. And as part of our routine, as I shared at the beginning, every Friday, rather than providing our one thing, we share our discoveries from the week of our discussion. This week's discussion was about the Renegade Routine. And so today, we're going to talk a little bit about our discoveries from the week. as we go through, if you have certain discoveries that you would like to share, we'd love to hear them. Please feel free to put them in the comments. If you are watching us either live or recorded on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or
LinkedIn Live.
He loves that. Please feel free to share because we know that it could add value to someone else. If you are listening to this on our podcast, where you are unfortunately not able to comment, you can always go to our Facebook group and comment there your discoveries of the week. We also would love it if you would rate our show.
5 stars, people. Yes, I put my hand up yet again for the people who are listening so they know how many stars to put up.
Yes. And you can also share it with friends because we know that there are others out
or
there.
Or enemies, depending on your situation, you know.
I like to think as everybody is a friend.
You know? Oh, that's so nice.
That's who I am. Feel free to share
our card.
So we know that people are always looking for value. And this may be the value that they are looking for and then desperately need. So we look forward to our discussion. We appreciate having you with us. And let's dive into what we start every show with, our celebrations. Bob, what are you celebrating today?
I'm going to celebrate the power in each of us to change. So I know it's kind of heavy for a Friday. What can I say? But we all have the power to change. We can change how we think about things. We can change how we do things. And I have been going through some changes in my life in the last couple months. And it occurred to me this morning that just the mere ability to change is something worth celebrating.
Absolutely.
Heavy for Friday, I realize.
Some people can't find that. So that's true, that if you have the ability to realize that while hard, sometimes change is beneficial. Love it.
And you learn from it no matter what, right?
And again, you can either choose to judge it or you can choose to, what can I learn from the change that I've made, and celebrate the action and not try to judge or describe as either good or bad what the change is. I love it. Excellent. So I'm going to share that I'm celebrating, I'm just going to celebrate the value that we can all share. This week I had the opportunity to have a conversation with someone who I think is really interested in possibly joining our Renegade Success Network. It just might not be the right time for him at the moment, the real time, when I say that. And yet I felt like I was able to offer him some value that was beneficial. And at the same time, I'm working with a client on a strategic plan. And at the same time, they are struggling with some challenges with a challenging board member. And so in addition to helping them with the strategic plan, through our conversations, I think I've also been able to help them just put a different spin, just think about maybe some things to consider as they work through the challenges with this board member. And so I think that's the beauty of it, is that we can do it whether someone is our client, customer, or not. And, what value can you continue to add to those that are your clients or customers, team members? So the value of adding value. That's
I like it. Nice.
What is our Renegade Day celebration?
So over the course of the week, Tom, I've been asking people about their routines. The people I talked to on the phone, the people I've interacted with, a lot of people. And it's like, so what's your routine? What's something that's routine for you? And they're like, oh, I get up in the morning and I make coffee, or I get up in the morning and I eat my oatmeal, or I get up and I do this, or I always go to this gas station and get a cup of coffee because I know the people inside. And I want to celebrate the fact that those routines ground us, because almost every one of those people said, when I said to them, what if you didn't do that? And they're like, oh, it's not good. If I don't get my coffee, it's not good. If I don't go in and say hi to my friends, they start texting me at 10 o'clock. Are you okay? Are you okay? Did you get COVID? So that routine, we've been talking about routine in a lot of different perspectives. But to me, there can be some value in routine just in making it so that we have some consistency in our days.
All right. Excellent. So we're celebrating our topic. I like it.
Seemed only logical.
Has there been a lot of logic on the show over the last?
No, we've strived to avoid logic.
Because we're renegades.
There's our slogan, striving to avoid logic.
Excellent. All right. So as you think about the week, Bob, what are some of your thoughts on our week of just talking about the Renegade routine and how that may be a little different than how some people might look at routine?
I think two things come to mind. One is Danny's great phrase, radical prioritizing. That's really been sticking in my head because radical prioritizing to me, I've taken to mean that I can control how I prioritize things. So I can radically prioritize today that I have meetings until about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then I have nothing on my calendar. And I am this close to saying, you know what? I need a Friday. I need to buy some groceries before the snow. I need to do some other things. I would really like to binge watch a HBO show. And I'm blessed with the ability to have that option available. So radical prioritizing would be me getting out of my own way and not going at 11:30. Oh, I feel so guilty. I should be working right now. I have so much work to do. So that's one part of it. The other part of it is, I think when we talk about routines, I was thinking about the disruptions and distractions that we all encounter as a negative until we talked about yesterday. And we really shifted our thinking. I mean, like I think one of us said after the program, like, oh, didn't see that coming when the week started. We almost were giving a space and a place for distractions that they may be good. We gave the example of, hey, if I get up and put away the dishes and that clears my head and I can tackle a problem in a new way, or it reminds me of something that I forgot about, that's a great thing. And so I went in my mind from avoid distractions to, maybe there's a time and place for it. And yesterday you said to me when I did a certain thing, you suggested that I play my guitar. And I played my guitar 12 times yesterday. And 3 of those times I would play for like 5, 7, 10 minutes. 3 of those times, great ideas popped into my head while I was strumming my guitar because it was mindless and it was fun and it wasn't work. And so I see the opportunity to use these other outlets too. It wasn't avoiding a distraction for me. It was actually replacing something else I was thinking about. But when I did it, it opened my mind to a whole bunch of new ideas.
I like it. I like that idea.
Friday, we got to stop doing 7 a.m. programs. I feel like I got super deep today.
It's okay. What's wrong with that? Don't judge it. Just share it.
Okay. All right.
I think I like that. I mean, I thought yesterday's conversation was really good. I mean, the whole idea of disruptions, which again, most people would consider that they would think about it as a negative, even though, I'm not fond of that word, unless it's about the charge, because that's obviously negative or positive charge. And I think that that's something for people to consider. I think we get so wrapped up in, I have to sit at my desk or stand at my job for 8 hours. And yes, I get a lunch break. And yes, I get, maybe a coffee break or whatever else you're allowed as a part of your role. And can feel guilty if we don't do that. If we don't take a moment and go talk with a coworker about something that maybe is about work and maybe it's not. Or, when you go to the water cooler, I don't know that anybody has water coolers anymore, especially not now in COVID. That you have a conversation and you get to know people. And in those conversations, you just create opportunities to find new solutions. So I really like that conversation. I think I've figured that out. Working from home for probably the last 5 years has allowed me to understand the value of disruptions rather than to see them as something that is harmful to what I'm trying to accomplish. And, and I was thinking back to our conversation on Monday, which I have to go back and listen to it because as I remember it, I was almost talking about how routine, the way a lot of people look at it, sometimes is not as valuable as we may think. And the value of the Renegade routine is that it allows us to adapt to disruptions, and really more focus on what are the priorities of the day, given all the other priorities that are going on in our lives, which means that there are multiple. And so we always are trying to find harmony with the routines that we've set and the priorities that fall within that, and the value of those priorities, with all the other things going on that may cause disruption in what we are doing, and allowing that to be okay. And I think that's what the Renegade Routine provides for us. And so as I was thinking about my one thing, and I'm not sure this is going to come out, I'm not sure this is exactly how I want to say it, so I'm going to play with it a little bit.
Okay.
How do we not let our routine become routine?
Oh,
I do believe there is a point in a routine when it maybe is not providing the benefit that you thought it was, and that you may need to shake it up. It's funny. I remember when I was trying to change my eating and try to be a little healthier, someone once said that, if you're thinking about like calories, I'm going to only have this many calories. Well, when you do that, your body gets used to that many calories. And so while at one point in your journey along trying to lose weight, it works great. But at some point, your body just gets used to, okay, this is what I'm going to get. And it stops functioning in a way that will allow you to lose weight. It's like, this is just what it is. And then sometimes you need to go in and shake it up, have a little bit more, vary it so that your body doesn't just get caught up in the same old. And I think that's where there's this balance in routine of, yes, it can have dramatic impact on what you're trying to accomplish. And I also think if you're not constantly reviewing it, it can get to the point where it stops losing its function and you just become a part of it. And I think that's, so I don't know if that's the right word, but I'm going to have my one thing be, make sure that your routine doesn't just become routine.
Wow, I think we could do a whole week of that.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I find it challenges me because I see the value of routine and know the benefit and knows what happens sometimes if I'm not prepared for disruptions. And I also know that sometimes routine just it stops having its effectiveness. And it's just kind of what we do. When you think about it, like your routine in the morning, people usually have one and they just don't even, you get to the point where you don't think about the value that routine has, which maybe that is beneficial in a way that it allows you to do what you need to do without having to fully focus. And maybe within that, you find some of those nuggets that we talked about because your mind isn't focused on the steps. It's just doing something. And I also think that sometimes our routine allows us to no longer get the return that we once got. And so measuring that to make sure that does not just become routine. And I think that's so true with businesses. If you just get in a process, this is our process, and we're never going to, it's always worked. So that means it's always going to work going forward. You could have some significant disruptions pop up.
Wow. That was an action-packed episode.
There was a lot wrapped up in there. There
was. Yeah, that's you might have to put this one in the time capsule.
And if you have your discovery of the week, we'd love to hear it. If you've been listening once or twice or not at all, and you think about routine and you have a thought that you'd like to share, we'd love to hear it. As we mentioned, please feel free to put it in the comments. The other place that's a great place to do is come into our Ring of Renegades Facebook group, and you can share your thoughts and ideas there with other renegades who are trying to find their next step along their own unique pathway to success, which is why it's a private group, because we know those steps are hard and challenging. And being able to do it within a community that understands we're all trying to figure this out. We're all trying to figure out what's real for us and gain knowledge, experience, and perspective to impact that. So we would love to see you inside our Facebook group. And you can also, where we have all this information all wrapped up nicely on your phone in our Renegade Success Network app. From there, you
it can be on my phone, Tom?
I'm sorry?
It can be on my phone?
It can be an app on your phone.
How convenient would that be?
Well, very
Are
convenient.
you telling me I don't need to go to Facebook? I can go to the app and it will tell me how to get to Facebook to see this right now? It'll tell me what a renegade is?
It will.
Wow. And
It'll
you thought I
allow
wasn't
you-
paying attention.
Yes, indeed. So you can download that app either at Google Play or at Apple iTunes, depending on the version of your phone. And you can have access to us no matter where you go. Although that may be a deterrent, so maybe I shouldn't share that.
I feel like there are court orders prohibiting that.
Okay, excellent. Anyhow, we'd love for you to download the app, see what's involved in there. One of the key things in there is our 6-week program, Find Success the Renegade Way, which truly is about helping you create your renegade routine and developing a routine that will allow for the disruptions that we know are going to occur and allow you to prioritize each day based on what are the priorities of that day, not just what you have always done and what you feel like needs to be done. So we'd love for you to download the app there. We hope that you go out and have an amazing weekend. And we look forward to seeing you Monday morning back at our regular time, 8 a.m. Eastern time, for the next edition of Today's Antidote. Have a great day, everyone.
Hey, embrace the renegading you and celebrate whatever that routine is that gets you through the day.
Excellent. Thanks for listening to Today's Antidote, powered by the Renegade Success Network. The Renegade Success Network helps you confidently create your own unique pathway to success. To learn more about the Renegade Success Network and how you can take your next step, follow us on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, or join the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. For full details on how you can join our community, go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Embrace the renegade in you.